Oh man. You know what? It's preseason and the Pelicans really didn't have the major cannons, so I'm not going to think too much of this. But I'm not even going to yell out post this motherfucking stats. I promise y'all I'm not going to do it this one. I'm going to save that for the regular season, even though I had to let Bleacher Report to post the stats since they went ahead and posted the picture and it posted that fucking drubbing that they was giving them boys. So we just gonna be cool real quick on that. But y'all still got time to come around. Y'all still got time to come around. I said 60 wins. Y'all still got time to come around for 60 wins. Let me explain something to y'all. It's evident as day. The Bulls have their backcourt of the future. And let me be clear. They wasn't really getting production like that from Vucha DeRozan tonight. They was bricking. Is a brick? Well, she's house. Yeah. They was putting up some brick houses, especially Vooch. Vooch has been terrible shooting the ball um, during the preseason. But they don't even have Kobe, Tony Bradley, or Pat Will. And again, it was a 25-point drubbing by half. And it's last I checked, it was 43 before I left. That was into the fourth quarter. I didn't watch any more after that. There's not a lot to say. You know, there's a lot of beef going on because of that article written earlier this week talking about, you know, the Bulls weren't allowed to comment on things uh, involving LeVar Ball, or else they would get basically blackballed from the organization. And all their media heads have been, you know, synonymous like that didn't happen. Okay, cool. But because of it, Pels, bloggers, media guys, fans have been on like a rampage against Zoe. And for Zoe to come out here and he got 19 points, I believe 7 of 9 shooting, 5 of 6 from 3. He missed his first 3, he didn't miss after that. Cooked their ass. He got a mid-range jumper, and he got a layup at the basket because he cut and Vooch found him. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I think he was plus 32 on the night. I mean, what more is there to say? We've been seeing, like, here's the thing. We knew this was coming. If you've been down with Zoe, you knew this was coming. Well, Jay Strokes, this is just the preseason. Yes, it is the preseason. But what you're looking at is concepts. What you're looking at is how the synergy works. The stuff that you're seeing now will work during the regular season. But here's the answer for you guys, right? Well, here's the question and the answer. Zach LaVine has been consistent with his points. Vooch and DeRozan have not. Zoe was not being looked at as the second option. But consider this. Lonzo got you in 25 minutes, essentially, got you 19 points. And he the one that started breaking the game open. So again, your two former All-Stars, Vooch being an All-Star this past season, are sucking on the scoring. But you're literally getting contributions from everybody else on the bench, and you got Lonzo and Zach carrying. But it's not even carrying because they're blowing your backs out so bad that the misses don't even matter. So, what's the answer, right? Last year, Zoe was the third option. Played out of position, whatever. This year, he's the third or fourth option, playing out of position, and he looks to be just fine. Yeah, he had 8 points the first game, but that's cool. He also gave you other things too, and that's okay. Tonight, when they didn't have it and the points needed to be got, DeMar DeRozan don't got it. Cool. Let me start knocking down these shots. Then they looked for him and he was knocking down the shots. What does that mean? They know on this team where their bread is buttered. Hey, look, Lonzo can play. My man can shoot a mid-range. He can get the layup at the rim. He can knock down the threes. I mean, what more do you want? Okay, so we sucking cool. Fine Lonzo. He got it going. And then what's next? Oh, we got Caruso playing like Caruso. Defense, giving assists. Sexy ass passes, by the way. Some of his dimes tonight, even though some of them weren't finished. On point, my goodness. He definitely went through that Rondo Bron training because he got their passing gift. But you got your mainly your three guards, not including DeRozan, who are contributing the bulk of the offense tonight and the bulk of the defense. And guess what? You didn't need DeRozan's, 12, 14 points. You didn't need Vooch's 15 points, even though he missed way more shots than I think he made. It's okay. Matter of fact, you take off of their 27, guess what? You still beat the Pelicans by double digits. This game was over in the first quarter. They barely got to 59 points at the end of the third. Now, obviously, they're missing Zion and B.I., but I would dare say they're better defensively than what they had in Cleveland. So what does that mean? Better defensive team, albeit not by that much. And it still works. Okay. I still got my, trepidations about this because I would like to see them versus, say, the Lakers or another team like that. Clippers, the Knicks, teams that have, some winning recently, high ranked in defense or something. I would like to see that. So I'm not going to, saddle up too high right now. I'm going to keep it real. Pelicans had no offense tonight. None. And they had no one to organize the team. They missed Lonzo. And Zoe, I don't know if it's still the case, but I know at one point in the third, Zoe had more threes than the entire Pelicans team put together. He had made more threes than the entire team. Do you miss him yet? You don't? Okay. I know B.I. didn't play. I know Jackson Hayes wasn't available. I know Zion wasn't there, so it's not y'all fault, but still. The holes on the Pelicans still exist, people. But they got worse. Devontae Graham couldn't do shit. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the future, couldn't do shit. You put him out there, he got the touches, he get to get control of the offense, and what happened? He choked. The same shit happened last year. It's nice when you got two other guys to take the pressure off of you and they can't key in on you and you can start, attacking guys. But when them niggas ain't there and you got the ball in your hands, what's going on? See, we seen what Zoe could do without anybody. He actually won a game last year. With deep bench role player guys, James Johnson. Hell, with Nickeil, even though he got hurt in the game. He won a game last year coming off an injury. As the guy. And he was still playing 3-and-D role as the guy. Did it against Detroit the year before. Bitch guys. Jahlil Okafor, Etwan Moore. Beat him. But again, people, like I said, we're not going to look too deep into the numbers. The steals thing I think is important though. They've been averaging double digit steals every game, and usually they get there by the half. Now I know teams are running deep into their bench; they may not do that in a regular season, but I think that's privy to note because they could like that's how they're getting into transition is those steals, that length, those passing lanes that they play, their athletic ability, the pressure. Matter of fact, let's talk about that real quick. Zoe and Caruso, it seems like when they on the court together, them two raise hell. And I believe I mentioned that in one of my videos that there's a possibility of a lineup with Caruso and Zoe. Now, I'm going to say this. I wasn't expecting them to get this kind of minutes together, but all these injuries have started happening, so they've been playing a lot, which is good because that means, in a regular season, you can go to them to close games or to close a half if need be. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to consider. But those two are putting so much pressure on the ball that it is allowing for here's the fantastic part, right? Zoe has never played with another guy, a guard on the court in the back court. Because in my view, even though they have Caruso being a power forward, he's really playing the two guard, and they kind of sliding, Levine and DeRozan to the 3 and 4 in my eyes. He's never played with another backcourt mate who is defensively on par with him. And so here's what's happening. They're taking turns. And whenever Caruso is on ball, Zoe can roam. And he's allowed to use his instincts and his IQ to just put his hands in places and deflect balls. And it's leading to a steal for the team. Fantastic. This is fantastic. And this can carry over into the regular season. Now, Darius Garland and Colin Sexton, they're very good offensive players. I can assess defensively that yes, that will transfer. Now, when you're playing Devin Booker and CP3, we'll see. When you're playing Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, we'll see. But for the most of the teams in the league, they don't have that. They don't have that. Two guys who could be a ball handler or very careful with the ball or offensively gifted and careful with the ball. Most teams don't have that. And so, to me, that will transfer. The defensive principles will transfer. Now, there's some things that I have questions about. What happens when you got a stretch five and Vooch has to come out and guard him? Valanciunas, to me, made it perfectly clear that against some good, competent stretch fives, we might have some issues if they start going to them. One of the things I was talking about online today is I said, hey, the Pelicans should be going to Valanciunas more. Yes, they would have to feed the post. They would have to feed that guy that, I said last year, hey, they don't know how to feed the post except so, and it seems evident now when they can't get the ball to the post. But hey, that was just me talking, right? Anywho, stretch fives might be a problem because you're forcing Vooch to have to come out and defend, and that's how you beat him. You force Vooch to have to come out and defend, and if you force him to have to defend, it messes up what they want to do on the defensive end. But we'll see. Valanciunas is a very good player. We'll see how this works out. Again, they didn't have Zion and B.I. I would imagine them to be way more effective if they did. But, we'll keep our eyes on that. Look, at the end of the day, This team is very solid. Okay. You're starting to see the glimpses of what this could be. I'm going to reiterate and say this again. There's two reasons why this team could get 60 wins. No data on them is number one. It's not enough data on them. And then number two, their pace of play. Now, I'll admit, the first quarter, they didn't play that fast. They did not play that fast. They seemed kind of sluggish, and they still put 30 up. But in that second quarter, it turned up, and they put up more. They put up, I think, 33. But the way they got to 33 was just open shot after open shot. Everything became easy. I need a lot more games to study, but I'm wondering if their pace of play can actually tire teams out. And that leads to better defense, too. When you get to a point where the pace is so fast and you're fatiguing, you make bad decisions or you don't have your legs under you. That's something that remains to be seen. We'll see. That's not something you could draw from like 2 preseason games, especially when teams are going deep on their benches. But we'll see. But I'm telling you guys, somewhere around that 8 to 7 minute mark in the game, it seems like that's when the Bulls tend to go on their run. At least the last 2 games. We'll see. They play Cleveland Sunday again. And then I got to go look and see who they play after that. But then they get like a week off before their first regular season game against Detroit. But we'll get into that later. Another day. But look, man. It's there. It's there. If you play this team, look, if Lonzo can hit his shots, and he put up 19 effortlessly. He didn't take that many, just 9 shots. And it was high efficiency, like 86% field goal, and like 80-something percent from 3. It was high efficiency. But let's keep it real. If he can hit, like, he don't have to hit that much. But if he's hitting, around 50-40, he's going to be one of the deadliest players out there because there's really not going to be an answer. Yes, you're going to have to devote attention to DeMar and Vooch and obviously Zach. But the problem is you can't take too much attention onto one player because you putting attention on DeRozan and Vooch and pick and roll. Guess what? Zach is open in the corner. That happened tonight. Zach had an open 3. And I asked the question, I was like, when is the last time you just seen Zach on the court with an open shot? That's how much pressure is on this team because, yes, DeRozan can do damage in the mid-range, so can Vooch. For the lesser extent, Lonzo remains to be seen. But there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of attention to those guys in the paint. If you got Caruso out there who's knocking down threes, Lonzo who's knocking down threes, and then you got Zach knocking down threes, somebody got to get left open. 40%, 38%, and then 40%. Who you choosing? Who you choosing? Pick your poison. And even if you don't pick, if you say you're going to keep Zach locked down, the other 2 are playmakers. There's an answer. There is an answer on the court. I see the vision for Acme. I see what they're going for. And again, like I said, I think they still need another power forward. You just put them on the bench or have them start. But I'm starting to get the feeling and solidify exactly what it is. And it's been right on the money with what I said. But boy, what their vision is something special. And if you watch it, you can see it. And people are starting to take notice because normally games don't end up being massive blowouts like this. They are blowing out by like 40 and 50, 2 games straight. If this continues, Vegas books is about to swing. But I digress, though, people. If you're a Zoe fan, you got every reason to be excited for this season. It's not just about the stats this season. That's fine. I get that. But the wins are going to be there. But it's not just the wins, it's how they win. Okay? Like I posted today on Twitter, this is the stuff we've been campaigning for about Lonzo. And now people can appreciate it and see it for what it is. And yes, there's going to be the haters out there. There's going to be the detractors. He's still a wing. He's a wing. Say that all that you want. His position don't make a difference whether he's a good player or not. You could call him a cinephile. I give a fuck. If he's out there producing wins, guess what? It don't fucking matter. Because you would want him on your team. Unless you're the Pelicans. Oops, did I go there? I'm sorry. In any case, this is not my normal post game rants or analyses. This is just a talking to. There's not really much to discuss because, honestly, we should have seen this coming. They really had nobody for us. You got Devontae Graham and Nickeil Alexander Walker, and they got to keep up with Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball. Okay. And we got DeMar DeRozan. By the way, every game last year by the San Antonio Spurs in Chicago, Pelicans got cooked by DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. And the best wing player, the best point guard, is now on the other team. Talking about Lonzo. And they couldn't defend him with Lonzo. So what hope do you have to defend them when Zoe is getting them passes and pushing pace? Just gotta hope they miss. But apparently Zach don't miss. Anyways, guys, look. Fantastic performance. I'm a little underwhelmed by this game, low key, because honestly, I'm ready for the regular season. First game was like, okay. Second game was like, all right, I'm solidified. I'm going to watch the rest of the games. Hell, I've already got my League Pass subscription. I paid for the entire season up front. I never did that shit with the Pelicans. I went and spent $130 today to get the League Pass for the Bulls. That's all I'm watching this season. I ain't had that kind of dedication for the Pels. But I went ahead and did that shit for the Bulls. I'm ready for this shit to start. Because I will be talking my shit all motherfucking season. See, I almost said it. I almost said PHMS. I almost did it, but I ain't let it. I held it in. I really wanted to yell it. I'll let y'all handle that in the comment section. It's your boy Jay Strokes. Y'all have a good night. Peace.